What's happening, family? It is your man, CRB Jr., Cordy Robert Brown Jr., here at Motown Mafia Podcast, the Big Boss Filmworks production, in the house with you know who.
What up? It's Lou Stevens.
Big Lou. How you feeling, fam?
I'm feeling like a filmmaker, man.
Well, that's because we make films.
That's what we do.
That's what we do. And got plenty of that. Got plenty of that coming.
Absolutely.
Real soon for the family. So we hope everybody is well out there.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of technology going on here.
A lot of technology.
Make sure you guys are hitting that like, share, and subscribe button. We just passed a little milestone. So again, thank you for all of your support out there. Spread the word. The movement is real. We're humbled by you guys' support. We got a lot of exciting things we got planning coming up. Before we get into this, June 11th, I believe.
Yeah, June 11th for the Hustle and Grind. Michelle Moore's
Going down. Carl Weber, guy from the that does the show The Family on BET.
Right.
Great show if you haven't checked it out. One of the pillars and stars of Black Urban Publishing. In fact, I think that's the name of his company is Urban Publishing.
Believe so.
He'll be there. All the big time authors will be there. So if you're in the Detroit area, right on that Linden and Livernois area, of course, Big Boss Lou will be in the house. I'll be in the house. Members of the Jackson family, shout out to Eddie Baby down there, Real True Street Crimes and all.
Big up.
Hopefully some of the other family, Ice and Kev and some other people who came by last year, Big 50 stopped by, so should be a good time, man.
Yeah, sounds like a fun time. Last year was great.
Yeah, and come on, we got some great stuff. We're going to give some merch giveaways and promotions, so come by, give us a shout. Of course, we'll be featuring Motown Mafia, Memoirs of Kingpin's Kid. Also, we'll be featuring...
Getting off zero. Let me help you out.
Yeah, getting off zero. Mind right, money right. You know, if you want to get your money right, you need to get your mind right. We're sure that once you get your mind right, eventually you're going to get your money right. And last but not least,
the big man on campus, Motown Mafia.
Yeah, kind of chronicling me and my college days.
Yeah.
Of course, we changed some names and some locations because...
To protect the guilty and the innocent.
The guilty and the innocent because although it has been a minute, it ain't been a minute for some of the people that we used to run around with. And
yeah,
I'll say this for all those out there who know what I'm talking about. I remember when we started this stuff, a lot of my dearest friends and families were very concerned about us having a business where we go about the telling of all of a lot of our old activities and interactions.
Oh God, you should have heard some of the people who used to talk to me. He was like, "You sure you want to put that out like that?"
But then we assured everybody that the statute of limitations had long ago ran out and that most of everything we talk about, 95% of it, has already been litigated.
Yes, indeed.
And what has not been litigated, the statute of limitation had long ago passed, and we do thank God that we are here and able to do this. And to put it in some context to lead into the story about my man Harry O, and that's where I'm at with it now. You know, as a middle-aged businessman, Lou, and you know, you've been around us now in the family situation.
Right.
There's some perspectives about this thing, this street thing, this hustle thing, that only people at a certain level who've seen, who've been at the mountaintop and in the valley can share.
Right.
And the value for the family out there that we hope to, we're not attempting again to glorify anything. Other people can make their moral judgments. You know, I've spoke about how I feel about that.
Which they can and will.
Which they can and will. But as we're going to go into talking about the brother Harry L, Michael Harris, some of the stuff going on with our youth, the extreme violence going on in our community, the infatuation with the bag, the infatuation with being lit, this hustler dream. If there's any group of people who are going to be able to really reach these youth and give them some realities, the reality of, in my case, what it is when your father goes away. You know, that part that we don't talk about a lot.
Right.
We talk about in the book, Big Man on Campus, what it is to spend 20 years of your life just waiting for that knock on the door. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
What that really implies living that it ain't all what you think.
Mm-hmm.
And when you've gone to so many people's funerals and had so many people incarcerated, the realities of this thing.
Yeah.
You know.
And it's real.
It's real.
I mean, me, certified square from Roselawn. I've seen quite a bit, and truthfully, what you say is 100% fact, because we lost a lot of good people, and then we had a lot of good people in prison for years. All my childhood, I mean, people just getting out. You know what I'm saying? I'm almost 50, so
yeah, it is.
You know, you're right.
So with that, just recently checking out a show. Give a shout out to these brothers. Make sure you check out their show. It is the Dub C and CJ show.
Yeah, Dub C used to be with WC in the Mad Circle for you hip hop heads from listening to the West Coast hip hop.
So you was familiar with old boy?
Oh yeah. Now the other cat I'm not too familiar with. I don't know if he was in the group or what the hookup was, but as soon as I saw Dub C, I knew who it was.
Okay, so only time what made me recognize old boy was last time Ice Cube was in town.
Right, that's Ice Cube's man.
That's Ice Cube's man. He was Ice Cube's hype man.
Yeah.
So that I was like, oh, that's old boy from the Cube show.
Yeah.
So
Coolio came up with them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Dub C and brother CJ got a podcast out of LA. Really nice. Give them a shout. And I was watching them, and they had a brother on who obviously I was familiar with his story. And that was a brother by the name of Harry O, real name Michael Harris. Right. So for those who don't know, it had been street legend, but it wasn't even street legend. It was documented because, in fact, you look on the Feds magazine. This is Feds magazine. Let's give these guys their full credit because Feds and us did a lot of work together.
Yes, we did.
This is volume 4, issue 25 of Feds magazine. Shout out to Brother Black. Shout out to Sister Una Snipes and that whole Feds team. Hope all is well with you guys.
Yeah, big
But
up.
Feds magazine chronicled Harry O in this issue, and it talks about the $1.5 million that Harry O actually gave to Suge Knight to start Death Row, right? And during the pod, it was just a great interview. So again, check out the Dub C and CJ show to get that interview. And he was just kicking some old school values, some real values that we really need to be back instilled. He said something in the thing, Lou. That wow, if youth understood this, he was like, if you get in a car and you don't see no wisdom in the car, you should get out that car.
That's right, man.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. It's like if you go into a house and you don't see no books, chances are you probably don't want to stay in that house for too long.
Yeah, it could be something. It may not be a lot to learn in that house. I hate to say it that way, but it's likely the truth. And I just, look back and I understand how the youth get all twisted up, man, because I how many times I was just wise enough or more really to be real about it, lucky enough to get out of some cars and say, nah, why don't you guys drop me off? That don't, what y'all talking about don't sound like it's going to have a happy ending.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But anyway, and he goes on in the interview, again, a fascinating interview. This is the guy who actually put up the money that started Death Row. So to put it in some context of this guy now, after doing 33 years on a drug conspiracy case, and Harry O was moving at the highest levels. There's a guy, Bobblehead Bo, I believe is his nickname. Al has done some work. Shout out to Al Prophet.
Big up.
Guy had a direct connection with the Mexican cartel. Harry O was tied in with him and to a lot of other people in LA. And Harry O was dealing in, again, at the big boy level. He was a big fella's big fella. Produced a play, he's one of the people who first identified Denzel Washington, put up the money for Denzel's play Chessmates, which I actually saw on Broadway.
Okay.
Denzel was in that, Ruby D, Ozzie Davis.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, he was moving in some big circles. And so he gets involved with this, with Death Row. So without Harry O's funding to start Death Row. All jokes aside, everybody who just saw that Super Bowl show, the awesome performance that Dre and Snoop and 50, Mary J, and M put on. None of that happens if there's not Harry O.
Yeah, you don't have a Up in Smoke tour. You don't have Eminem. You don't have, man, it's so much.
You don't have pop, without that whole Death Row situation, you don't have pop culture as we know it.
That's the truth.
That's for real.
That's the
right?
truth.
Right, as we know it. And as we always try to remind people here at Big Boss, you cannot separate the black experience in America from the black street experience in America.
Correct.
I know some would like to, but the reality of it is you can't. So Harry O gives Suge the $1.5 million that starts off Death Row. He had subsequently then ended up catching his case. He got hammered on his case. Whether you like his politics or not, the man who pardoned him and the reason why he's now free and doing podcasts and back in cahoots with Snoop was he was pardoned by Donald Trump. Along with Kodiak Black.
Yeah.
And a few other African Americans that Mr. Trump let out. So, but I digress from that conversation.
From that conversation, right?
But the truth, anyway, Donald Trump did give Harry O a pardon, or basically said time served. And he's been out. He's back networking with Snoop. So shout out to Snoop Dogg. Showing some real loyalty to the OG. He looks like he's doing great. After 33 years, the guy looks like he's just a stand-up guy from all accounts on him. But he was talking about, Lou, that the image of LA. So like when you hear LA, what do you think about?
I think of blue and red bandanas. The
Bloods, Cribs, colors, right?
Or Menace or
Menace,
Boys in the Hood.
So he brought that up. So Harry's talking about that because of those two movies in particular you just mentioned, Boys in the Hood and Menace to Society, a lot of the rest of America believed that was LA's culture.
Right.
So he's kicking it, that is part of LA's culture, but that they are just as fly and drive nice cars and wear nice clothes, and as he put it, that when they was getting money, he stayed suited and booted. You know? And made me think about, remember we were interviewing Joe Papp. Shout out to Joe Papp.
Yeah, big up.
Undisputed Truth, the writer of Rolls Royce, and he's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and everything.
Smiling Faces.
And Joe was talking about right after Motown left Detroit in the early 70s and relocated its headquarters to LA, how many of the big time Detroit players went out there.
Right.
There's a guy that's in that article with Eddie and my old man about Maurice Downs.
Okay.
He had moved out to LA. He talks about the other brother out of Detroit that Butch was talking about, Ringo.
Okay.
And I think you may have heard even in conversation then when Eddie and the mob was having some friction, Eddie was like, I'll go out to LA and I'll make my own $1 million deal. You guys aren't the only ones. So it rang a bell that what Harry O was saying, of course, is true, is that LA always was a money town. A money town. And it was a lot more than just brothers in khakis and
LA is fly, man. And I can think back to my first trip, thanks to Big Boss Filmworks.
Yeah.
To Los Angeles, and I can attest to that. I didn't see anything that I thought that I'd see out that way. I saw opulence.
Yeah, you see it. Yeah, and in fact, that's what he calls it. Harry O calls LA Boss City.
Yeah.
So LA is a lot more to it. But he's real with it. He's like the gang culture is a part of it. I forgot to turn off the phone there. We'll get to that. So I'm a little interruption there, family.
Well, you can hold off and I'll cut this out till it goes.
Just let it be.
Let it be. yeah, big time.
Of course, there'll probably be somebody irritated who'll call me right back and be like, that is my life. Welcome to my life. And then he went on to talk about Snoop and his kids, and it really did my heart good. Talk about how Snoop's son is really leading the charge for that team, like going into the meta space, and that Harry O you know, when he was spitting it. Lord knows we're living it now,
Yeah.
right? About the technology and bringing in these young people who understand this technology, who grew up with this technology. And if you don't embrace the technology, to quote Ariel, you're just going to be a dinosaur. So with that, any young people out there in the Detroit area around that are really into social media marketing, interested in this whole meta space, please reach out. Big Boss is actively looking to add some team members. So
Definitely.
that is a for real thing. So yes, shout out again to the brothers over there at Dub C and CJ Show podcast. Big shout out to the OG Harry O.
Yeah, that was a great interview.
You know, he's from that cloth, like one of the last of the dinosaurs from one of the guys who you can tell was schooled by guys like Pops.
You know. He gave that air.
That he's true to. He ain't new to this. He's true to this.
That's right.
So, shout out again. Hustle and Grind, June 11th. Big Boss Filmworks will be in the house, along with some of the other leading people in the urban publishing world. Make sure you guys are hitting that like, share, and subscribe button. Want to give a shout out to one of our newest sponsors, and that is Bags and Bundles, Miss Boss Boutique, located at 16311 West 7 Mile. Premier hair and apparel shop for women in the D. And again, that is Miss Boss Boutique, Bags and Bundles, located at 16311 West 7 Mile. Come in there, mention Big Boss Filmworks, mention Big Lou, mention me. They're going to take care of you and give you a nice discount. So make sure you do that.
No
what
doubt.
You got, fam?
And hey, if you just heard that could be you. We can put your name, we can get you the shout outs, we can put up a commercial, whatever. You know, hit us up, bigbossfilmworks@gmail.com or bigbossfilmworks@yahoo.com.
And what if somebody needs some graphic work done? What do they do, Lou?
They go no further than Flyers Plus Graphics. Check me out on Instagram, Flyers Plus Graphics, or you can give me a call at 313-459-9919.
It's going down. We are a full service shop. So again, thanks everybody for the support. Just hit a milestone. The milestones keep coming.
Yeah, 13K, baby. And rising.
And rolling. You know, we will not stop till we get to where we want to be, and we won't share with you where that is, but it's big. How big? Real big.
Real big, man.
So yeah, it's just been a great ride. And again, what do we got coming real soon, right? Patreon station.
Patreon is coming this month. This is June. Patreon and the long-awaited Making of the Mafia.
Gonna chronicle the whole thing. I mean, from the billionaire Ben Horowitz to the president of Disney, Mike Ovitz, to Kevin Childs, to Miami Film Festivals, to Bronze Lens Film Festival, to winning the Best True Crime Documentary at the LA New York Film Festival, to special recognition at Martha's Vineyard, running into Ike Atkins, Sergeant Smack early on in the process, giving everybody their roses, Al Prophet and Scott Bernstein, how we all linked up and that team got put together.
Oh, yeah.
It's just been a journey, man.
It's been a journey. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. This thing at Big Boss, we've touched and crossed paths with so many people, and it's just been phenomenal, and it's just been great, man.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
Just the power of an idea. So we think you guys are really going to enjoy that, and again with the Patreon channel, some really exclusive stuff that you just got to be a member of our Patreon to get access to it. So it's going to be hot.
It's going to be big hot.
But here we are. Motown Mafia Podcast, the Big Boss Filmworks production. Hit the like, share, subscribe button. You out? You good?
And don't forget that notification bell.
That is a fact. Love you guys. Hope all is well. Last but not least, again, shout out to the OG Harry L. He's home. Make sure you check him out online. They're doing big things over there at Death Row. You guys will be hearing lots about this man and what he's doing.
Yes, indeed.
Real big salute to the
Trending.
OG. Holla at your man. It's CB Jr., Big Boss Filmworks, Big Lou. Holla.
Peace.
it was just time to really tell a great untold Detroit story, because it kind of covers Detroit at its zenith.
Very interesting story.
We decided that we were going to make a movie.
All right, Rich Rossi with you with Motown Mafia. I'm with Courtney.
Louis Stevens.
Courtney Brown.
Courtney Brown Jr.
And Alan Al Prophet Bradley.
And this is an entrepreneurial, inspirational story too, because again, you know, I'm a real estate retail guy. You know, that's what my skill set is. But I'm a businessman, so I was like, you know, we're gonna do it. You know, sometimes when you got a dream, you won't have all the answers on how you're gonna do what you're gonna do.
What made this one unique was not so much the crime, but the intertwining with Detroit's history and the Motown era and kind of the economic decline of Detroit. And it's really the story of a family. And from some perspectives, it's has a happy ending, like you said. For others, it didn't have a happy ending.
Right.